Damn, I'm back right in time, dude. How we all doing tonight, huh? I'm kind of curious to see how a stream like this goes, TBH. But after yesterday, or last night, I guess I should say, the Wuthering Waves info is pretty cool. The gameplay is really good, or it looks really good. So I kind of wanted to go over that and then talk about, I guess, basically our thoughts and opinions. I was going to do a Genshin thing, which is kind of funny. Although, I'm so tired of everybody calling things Genshin clones, bro. So over it. Like anytime there's an open world game, Genshin clone. Anytime there's anything, Genshin clone. I can literally take a shit in my toilet, Genshin clone. The Genshin killer. Well, okay, well, I wouldn't call it a Genshin killer, you know. But, you know, I get it. Open world, anime based. Genshin did it. But doesn't mean it's a Genshin clone. Also doesn't mean it's a Genshin killer. See, like there's two sides of the fence. The people who say it's a Genshin clone are almost just as worse as the people who say that it's a Genshin killer. Breath of the Wild clone. Yeah, I said that on Twitter. I was like, you know what? Why can't we just like dope games? I liked Genshin after playing Breath of the Wild, and I like Wuthering Waves after playing Genshin. What's wrong with that? Okay, personally though, I feel like that, David, I feel like that was pushed by content creators. I know that a lot of people in the community probably actually kind of thought like that, and I guess I don't know, maybe the whole like comparing it to Genshin thing was also brought on by content creators, but I felt like the whole like Genshin killer thing was brought on by content creators doing the huge clickbait stuff. And obviously that pulls in eyes because Genshin's so popular, but I feel like that was cultivated because of the clickbait bullshit. However, I do think that the clone thing is more I don't want to say organic, but like the community overall has done the whole like the Genshin comparison or like comparisons to, you know, open world games. So I won't put that one totally on the blame of a content creator, but I will put the Genshin killer thing on content creators. Looking at Sticks. Well, the only thing that ever makes me mad about the kind of stuff that he does is putting anime art or like I guess gacha art or arts for games on videos that have nothing to do with that game. Zach, do you remember that PGR had a setting on changing the position of some controls on the phone? I never, to be honest, bro, I never really played on the phone. I always played on my emulator and you could customize your mapping however you wanted to do it. I know that they're looking into that for the PC version. When I did a little bit of the play test for that, I think that was an option where you can set it up a certain way. Oh, I guess, okay. I guess I do remember though, on your phone, you could swap. I think you could have the orbs on the bottom instead of your attack row. Is that what you're talking about? Where basically you could switch the orbs from like being up top to bottom or whatever, so you could click them faster. I do know that. Yeah. Okay, so I remember that. Does WW have a PC client? Yeah. So it'll come out on PC and mobile is what's confirmed. I would like to see some point of following the footsteps of Star Rail and other stuff like that, and maybe a PlayStation, if they can get some sort of deal with PlayStation or something, that'd be really cool too. I think PlayStation's a huge, or just consoles in general, even Xbox, I guess, if they wanted to go the other route. I think consoles in general are very, very good avenues to grow a game. Oh, switching characters, yeah. I didn't mess around with that much because on the emulators you had, just as for Xbox, you had pretty much full functionality of what buttons you wanted to do what. Excuse me. Just ate dinner. Oh my god, I'm dying. It is kind of weird though that nothing goes on Xbox, but I'm guessing it has some sort of like, because Sony probably sponsors them a bit or something. I'm not 100% sure on what the actual deal is with Hoyoverse and PlayStation, but I imagine they have something because Star Rail's going to PlayStation now, confirmed, and then obviously Genshin's on there as well, so they probably have some sort of collaboration deal or something. I don't know if Sony's a backer like financially of Genshin or like Hoyoverse. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, honestly, if that's the way that has to be, I would love to see that. I'd like to see Hero Games get into some sort of like deal. Be kind of cool. But I do think it needs to come to consoles at some point, but I don't know how difficult the game's going to be. It looks a little bit more higher difficulty, because like PGR is a little bit higher difficulty than, you know, the casual open worlds we have now. And so far it looks like they're keeping that in Wuthering Waves. That was one of my things that I was kind of concerned that they would do, is they'd walk back some of the difficulty. So I hope they keep that. I think it's cool and pretty much like a good selling point for the game to be a little bit more difficult. I feel like we have a lot of casual stuff. I mean, I'm not talking about like the daily grind. I don't feel like the daily grind stuff that, you know, the stuff you're gonna have to hop on and do all the time should be like insanely difficult, because obviously that'd just be kind of like intrusive to your time. But I feel like PGR has a good balance. PGR has like, you can finish everything like 15 minutes, or you can sit on there and play for a couple of hours doing like, you know, Warzone and the punishing or the pain cage thing. Forget the terminology for the game. The Phantom pain cage thing though. So it has a good fluctuation of like how much time do you want to spend, which is really nice. I like games that give you an option. So if it's like, hey, I got 10-15 minutes. Okay, well, you can do all your dailies in 10-15 minutes. Hey, I got an hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay, well, go do all this stuff and you can play for 10, you know, 2 or 3 hours. It'll be hard to say during the beta how much the scaling is. I'd also like to see a good way of getting your currency. I think PGR's done a very good job at doing that. Dark Souls vibe with some Pokemon catching. The Pokemon mechanic's pretty cool. I'm kind of glad that they're going in their own kind of route that way. Honestly, having a little bit like, I don't understand the gimmick too much, but I don't know. Let's swap over this gameplay actually. Let's run this in the background. Okay, first off, I told you to restart and I told you to lower. There we go. Oh, it does change killer. Actually, I just realized that right when you said that. All the scrutiny of it copying Genshin is trying to see, and all those people don't bother to mention how combat is different and Master's Cast. And just like the overall mobility in the game's different. Okay, it has a paraglider. That's about it. As far as like the similarities and probably wall climbing, other than that, bro, they're very different in terms of mobility. Like the wire bug, that's such a cool gimmick. Like this is such a cool mobility gimmick. I seen somebody complaining because of these little mini games. I'll let it play and then I'll kind of give my point, just in case you haven't seen this. So basically the idea is it's like a time thing, right? We've seen these in open world games. It's just kind of a way to get you from one point to the other, explore a little bit, have a little bit of a challenge gimmick to it, and then you get a chest. Seems pretty basic. A lot of games do it, but everybody's like, I'm so tired of these challenges. I'm so tired of, you know, the game's not being like super challenging and having cool puzzles and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, first off, most of the puzzles in a game like this is supposed to get you to explore and like see different sides of the world. And it's also supposed to be something that like catches your attention and is easy enough to do that it's not going to be like an hour-long thing. Like if you want like the really cool puzzles, give it to like a dungeon or something where like the gimmick is a puzzle. That's the kind of stuff you're looking for. Like Breath of the Wild had like little gimmicks that you did in the open world. If you're just kind of running through something, you catch something like, oh, cool. And you go do it real quick. But then they had like cool stuff in the shrines. that you had to think about and do. So like that's my thing. It's like everybody's like, oh well, it's too simple, it's too simplistic on the puzzles. It's like in the open world, that's how it's supposed to be, because you want to bounce between, like, I don't know, it's supposed to catch your attention enough, but you don't want to go into every puzzle be like, oh, this is gonna be like a 30-minute thing. You know, in my opinion, I think the puzzles are fun to do like very short, then you're kind of on your way again. If you want like a longer, harder puzzle, I feel like putting it in dungeons is kind of the good thing. Yeah, 100%. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, there's stuff that can change throughout the game. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where people see this stuff and they're like, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. See that currency though, right here? This has to be like an EXP ticket. At first, I thought it was a summonable currency, but they get so much of this, I can't imagine it is. But knowing Kiro Games, it very well might be. But I kept wondering what that ticket is, because it kind of looks like a ticket you'd get, kind of like your BC and PGR, but I'm not. I don't know. I almost kind of think it's like EXP tickets. And I also like the different gadgets and stuff. Like it's kind of cool because you have to use a couple different things to do like some of these simple puzzles, like having the vision thing, the wire bug to get around. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of cool. And I think the game looks way better than it did from the technical test. Looks very smooth, like very polished. And the UI is very clean. And you get to sit. I mean, I don't really know what you'd use this for, but like, I don't know. Sit in school. I wish we got to see a little bit more combat, but I like the darker palette. Whenever I made the reaction video, I was kind of concerned that people would talk about the vibrant side of it, because like, you know, all the games right now, like Genshin and then Seven Deadly Sins Origin, seem to be vibrant out of their mind. But honestly, I kind of like this because it's just like a little bit more subtle. Like the world still looks really cool, but it doesn't hurt my eyes. But yeah, maybe I'm getting old too. But so far, everybody I've talked to about the color palette said it's like, they like it. It's a positive for them. I'm just so glad that they decided to kind of go a different way with like the color palette and kind of the idea of combat being a little bit more strategical. Like you can see that there's a lot more to the combat right now. Like the fact that you're able to transform it in and out of the mobs that you can kind of capture. And then like, it's so free flowing. Look at this stuff. And then you have like ults and stuff. So it does look like you have maybe that Q down there. See, I wish IGN would move their shit so I could see. But it does look like you only have a couple of buttons for, so for this part, it looks like R, Q, and E, and then T is your grapple. So maybe 2 skills, and then it looks like that Q is actually probably the summonable, like you switch into the summonable. But it does look like you can do a couple different things. So maybe there's a combination there too as well. Like you can do it like an EER, REE, or something like that, whatever, into Q. It's pretty cool. At least they never removed the sword sheath. A little sword drawing technique has always required a hack and slash game. The UI also looks pretty good too. Yeah, there's a lot of people pretty positive. Like I said, it looks a lot smoother, I would say. So this is cool. This has to be a mounting feature. It's like right before she does this, why am I down there? She switches it to, see if I can't read this wheel. So Echo Showcase, release the switch to this tool. An Echo Showcase? Oh wait, you just show them? Kind of feels like they're mountable. I don't know, it kind of looks like, oh no, now I get what this meant. So each character has their own mob that's assigned to them basically. Okay. I don't know what the purpose of the showcase is besides, I guess, seeing them. And pretty much everything's collectible. The salamander down there. And then the other thing is you obviously are collecting all these for some sort of crafting or cooking mechanic. I mean, I don't know why else you'd be collecting anything. This upcoming part's sick. And this, like, okay, these gimmicks obviously are in these open world games, but they have to give you something to do, man. Like, obviously the perfect dodge into the guy tripping. Like, look at the combat, man. You're gonna tell me this isn't some flashy, like the QTE into the into the act, or like an attack into the ult. It's just so, I don't know, man. It looks so good.
Something you need?
I think the explosion animation is pretty cool too. And then you also just got a weapon. See, I wish they would show the weapon thing, but they're just kind of going over the mobs. So this is the kind of thing that I don't necessarily understand. So they have more than one of the mobs, but then there's an upgrade thing. So maybe you have to have so many of the same mobs in order to get rarities, because these all seem green. And if I had to guess, green would probably be like a base rarity or something. So maybe you'd have a blue purple, and then maybe legendary would be like an orange reddish. But I'm guessing you have to like mix, like put them together. The text looks a bit odd. At level 5. Yeah, unlock at level 5. And then you also have this stuff down here, but I can't quite see what this is. Looks like maybe even different mobs actually down here in this bottom part. Because it kind of looks like you already have 2. Maybe you have to get, like, you have to get all of them. The same type of mob. Oh, so maybe it's just to give you like more variety, so you can have the same mob on different characters, because you can probably only equip one to one character, right? So you wouldn't be able to equip the same mob to multiple people, so maybe that's why. But I imagine I don't know, maybe the upgrades have something to do. So level 1 out of 5 HP, and then it has its own attack. I wonder if these are RNG though. I wonder if like the attacks are different, or do you think they're all tied to the, let's see. I don't know if they show. Oh no, they are. They're the same. I think he just swapped between the two. Maybe not. I don't know. But see, that has to be an EXP ticket. I don't know, because I kept thinking it was summonable currency, but they seem to get it quite a bit. Damn, they know how to make sword characters though. And I also like the shooting. I think it comes here in a minute. Yeah, like her looks very clean. I was hoping for some like verticality, but it looks pretty good.
What do we have here? You can't hide from me.
The voucher. That's what those are. They're vouchers. So they have to be XPs. And then this part kind of made me confused a little bit, because this could be two different things. I feel like this could be either a marker for you to kind of remind yourself where to go back, so you can kind of like grind and like, you know, maybe know a spot for like a really cool mob or something like that. Or it could be like a Dark Souls mechanic where somebody in a different like world or whatever on the same server can see what this is. But I imagine this has to be a communication to somebody else, because there's so many different emotes and there's so many different phrases. Like if you go back into this, there's like heart, all this different stuff. And then this one was like, you can do it. And it's shock, confused, laugh. It's like, this has to be, yeah, it has to be like a Dark Souls thing where you can communicate to somebody else. If it was just a marker thing for your own thing, I don't feel like they would have so many different emotes. It wouldn't really matter. Yeah. Oh, okay. Actually, that has to make sense because it has likes. So this is definitely a thing, like, you know, somebody like it. I guess we ran up on one too, though. I didn't even really realize that. I think we ran up on one before. But I like the color palette. I think it fits the world very well. And I'm kind of glad to see the game go in a different way in terms of like world. Like this is so cool. Like an environmental switch as you're running through. What were they saying the system specs for the game? Might be. Okay. Here's what I found. I think this is for the closed beta. So PC recommendations, make sure I'm not in the way. So Windows 7, Intel i5 7th, Ryzen 2700, graphics card 1600 or 1060. 16 gigs of RAM is minimum though. That's kind of, it's wild that we're starting to see the shift. 8 gigs might not be enough anymore. And then, so we got Android and then iOS. Gonna be 100% honest, I like phones, but I don't know between the Snapdragon stuff because I always just get the best thing. But this is also for the closed beta though. So this could change and this could adjust based on feedback or what they decide to implement and when release happens. I would imagine it'd be very close to this though. I don't imagine a lot of games got people to the moon with less RAM than this. Yeah, 16 seems to be the standard nowadays. It's kind of sad. This UI though is really cool. Also, it looks like you have some sort of effect. Is this like maybe an effect that you have for having a certain people on your team? What is that? Actually, now that I realize, kind of looks like it's an effect that you would have. Yeah, the rover looks really good. I was kind of hoping they would show the male as well, like further down into it, but I think the MC character design is really good too. It's kind of nice to see though, because like having a main character that you kind of want to play is kind of crucial. Let's see. Another thing is we have her. So is this what's her name? Is it I think it's by Leon? By Leon? Leon? By Leon? If I'm saying her name correctly? I don't remember. I just remember it was like BAIL, something like that. Is that her or is that a different character? I'll pull her up so you guys know. I suck at saying weird names. Let's check. Is that how you say that? By Leanne? By Leanne? I don't know if that's how you say it. Leanne? Light? Leanne? That's the summoner? Oh, is it? It might not even be this chick. I don't know how to say it. That's like a saying name. Maybe it's a different person. Kind of looks like her. Probably not saying the tones right. This doesn't look like her. Yeah, I don't know. Who is that? Oh, it has to be her. Yeah, because she has the same little flower braid thing. Can't really see it in this picture. So you can't really see it in that picture, but if you look at this picture, you can definitely see that she has a little flower thing. Yeah, that's definitely her. Okay, she looks a little different in the portrait there. So I wonder how many characters are there? Not sure what confirmed is. There might be on their website. Let me look at the website. I know. This is very loud. Oh shit, they updated this. Wait, they up? Oh, I just. I'm blow my ears out again. Hello? Hello, dude. How do you say that name? Is it Enki? I don't know how to say the Enki. Is it all of a sudden now the site's not gonna work anymore? That's nuts. Okay, so they updated this. Revealed soon. Oh, let me go back. No clue, bro. Okay, so I forgot how to say his name. Is it GN? 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 I think that's how you say his name. GN. So this is the character that they recently showed yesterday. He looks dope as hell, dude. Like, look at the design. Whoops. Look at the design on these guys. How do you see the next person? The site's a little buggy. Is it close enough of a pronunciation? The site's a little buggy. He was definitely in something, if not just in the art alone. Because I know for sure he was on the Twitter stuff when they announced the closed beta. I think my whole entire yeah, maybe it's just my browser. Shit, I don't know. Everything's loading. Maybe I'll try like Firefox. Shit, I don't know. The site's definitely a little weird. Why do you have to blow my damn ears out, bro? Yeah, I think he was teased a couple of times, and he's definitely in the Twitter art recently. Okay, so obviously he looks dope as hell. And then here's her. So she's a summoner, if I remember right. Oh. Wait, is that a spot for voice lines? It says to be announced. Oh, okay. Yeah, so she's the summoner. I remember watching her during the technical test. She looks like a lot of fun. She didn't get quite a redesign though, but she definitely got like a pick-me-up. I think on Twitter they showed that she was like... Maybe I even have it. I don't know. My freaking Microsoft Edge will not load anything, so I don't know. But anyway, I think she got a redesign, like a slight one, and then she's the one that got a huge redesign. I actually like studied her name a little bit, but I don't know if I can say it. So it's like Chishia. I think that's how you say her name, Chishia. Not 100% on the pronunciation, but or Chishia, yeah. Internet Explorer. You know, Microsoft Edge actually isn't that bad, but I'm guessing it's because I have the 4K video in the background and it's pissed. But she got a huge glow up. I don't know if I'm logged in at Twitter over here. But I think somebody showed her in one of these comments. So she used to look like this. I studied her name quite a bit just because I was wondering, because I knew the Chi, because I remember Chi from Dragon Ball, but I never know how to say Shia. Yeah, here's the glow up for her. So this is what she looked like, I think, during the technical test, if I'm not mistaken. So very bland design, really. But honestly, I think this was like, damn, bro, you'd almost think they weren't the same character. Like, there's almost nothing that they carried over, but maybe the gloves and the fact that she has like maybe like the skirt. But other than that, her chest size. I wish I got downsized, but you know. Shia is not yeah, that's what it always messed me up, because I remember there's a person in Genshin that has like, I think Shio. I think it's Xiao. I think that's his name. I'm not 100% sure, but I couldn't say his name because I couldn't like correspond like where the XIA made. Yeah, but this is a huge glow up. It's kind of cool though that they added a character like this, because you know Lee's really cool. And they kept like kind of the dual pistol thing. I really like that. I really like that they did that. And I really like that they kind of, I would like to see something like, I don't know, maybe like a cool riflesman or something like that. But yeah, this is definitely a really cool design. I think like I said, the other chick got like a small glow up, not very much, because her design like this I think was original. But there is one here. It is. So hers is not as dramatic, but I would say it's a lot more flushed out. I think her hair color was originally black, it looks like, but it looks like they just kind of like more or less like redefined it and or made it a little bit more HD. You can communicate in your frustration. But I think she looks really good too. I thought she originally had a really cool concept, so I'm kind of glad that they didn't exactly like redo her. But I think the change of the color of the hair is also kind of a significant thing to me, even though it's subtle. Because we're gonna get into the spot where a lot of the characters have black hair. So I'm kind of glad that they kind of went a different way and, you know, gave a couple characters different hair colors. Because we have the main MC that has black hair. We have Yang, is that her name? Yang? Yang has black hair. Well, she has kind of a different thing to her. She's kind of cool though. What kind of bird is that? Another thing to note though, I noticed it. I think that's where, I think these marks right here are where the mobs come out. Because if you take a look, that like this is something that's on most of the characters. Is this little like almost scar opening spot. Also talk about this design. I don't know how to say her name. Is it Enki? Enki? I don't know how to say it. But she's really cool too. And there's actually another character that I don't even think is technically talked about. I saw it on, I want to say Twitter. Where's my Enfield? Not forever, bro. No, I wasn't done looking. But this is the first time that I thought I actually got to see him quite well, was in this this art right here. So I kind of knew he was coming eventually, or he'd be talked about. But man, the rovers look really good too. Honestly, I think they did really good with the designs. But it does look like there's another character coming, because okay, so this was a GN, and then this has to be one of the other characters. I think this character is the one that I was talking about. I can't remember her name, and I don't remember where I was looking at a video for her, but apparently she was in a technical test. Let's see if I can't find it. Look on Discord and get in trouble. I low-key like the main girl. So you're probably gonna go female rover. Maybe it was in here. I don't know. Maybe it was on Twitter. Or somebody has a video of her. But so far, we still have to get her and her. Oh, that might be her, actually. That's definitely not her. I think she has a giant greatsword. I think she has a giant greatsword, if I remember from the technical test. And then she's like an ice build. This is not the no, this is a different chick. The dev talk of Wuthering Waves. I haven't watched all of them. No, this person right here is different. She has a great sword, if I remember correctly. Maybe I can find some stuff on the Wuthering Waves stuff. I know they talk about like the combat systems and stuff. I need to start watching these, to be honest. I just haven't been. Oh, this person? Oh, wait. Oh, you mean for, oh, actually, hold on. I think you're onto something. For, where the hell did the thing go? This chick. Oh, it kind of does. Kind of looks like this chick. Which ones are free? If I had to guess, I would say Rover. Probably Yang. Trying to think. So definitely probably like obviously the Rover. Yang. Maybe Chishia? Maybe Chishia? I don't know. But definitely not like GN. GN is probably gonna be not included in that. But probably Rover, I would imagine. I swear to God, somebody said something about a character, like one of these characters, and she looks really cool. But I think that somebody was saying that they're gonna get mad, like the Genshin people are gonna get mad because she's pretty similar to Nahadia or whatever her name is. I can't find where anybody said anything about him. I don't remember where I did. Maybe I liked the tweet. Damn, I'm really not gonna be able to find it now that I want to talk about it. Twitter literally just keeps replaying the timeline over and over and over again. It's like I'm in Inception. I don't know, maybe if I look up Wuthering Waves characters. So I found this, but I don't know if it's up to date. Is that custom MC? No, it's predetermined. So this is the chick in the back. I think this one might be one of the next people to get. Dan Jin. This might be one of the next characters. Then Shanhu. I don't know how to say that. Shanhua. She's like the ice chick. She looks really cool too. And then this one recently got announced. And this is the one I was talking about. This is the one that has the great sword. This is the one that has the great sword and looks pretty cool. Oh, this is it. This is the one I was talking about. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can't find the gameplay for her. So this is the one that everyone was saying was going to be like Nahada. I can't remember how to say her name in Genshin. I do that every time, dude. I hate when I do that. I gotta bring it over and I accidentally click it. Damn it. I gotta watch another ad. Blonde hair looks familiar. I can't remember if she has blonde hair in the Genshin character. Okay. So here's what this character looks like. I think this was in the technical test though, so I don't know if the model is like gonna be re-rendered or what. I don't really know. But this is the character that everybody was saying that was probably gonna be controversial, I guess, to say the least. Damn, look at the way that you can use the firefly or the whatchamacallit. Like her combat looks really fun. Damn, the berries are nuts. The fact that you can just parry a boss like that seems wild to me. Yeah, she looks like she's really fun. She almost seems like she's like a stun lock character, almost like a root character. Like she can stun and almost root the boss, it looks like. And the fact that you can perfect dodge, oh, damn, dude, this game's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be so much fun to watch, I feel like. I think that's one of the things that a lot of the other games kind of struggle with, is not being like terribly fun to watch. This game looks like it would be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, that really only matters to me, I guess, as a content creator, but yeah, and this is what she looked like in the technical test, so yeah, it's hooked me too. I mean, it definitely reminds me of PGR if you ever played PGR, but oh, you can just trip that guy. Okay, so that wasn't an actual, okay, that's kind of cool. Also, like they don't have any QTEs, so the gameplay obviously is on some sort of like they have kind of like a loop of like the combos that they're doing, but I don't know. It looks like they also have like a bar at the bottom that they're trying to build. As far as, well, okay, we can't really say that though, because PGR wasn't terribly flashy either when it first started. Yeah, it does feel very impactful when you hit the character. Like you can tell, like, I don't know, maybe it's like the screen shake a little bit. I mean, I know what you're saying, Forget. I totally get it, because like modern PGR is nuts. There's so much stuff going on, and there's so many cool ass characters and so many gimmicks and stuff like that. But when PGR first came out and having just Lucia, Lee, and Liv, it wasn't terribly flashy. Granted, those are B tier character, or not B tier, but like B ranked characters. So it's kind of hard to say, but I would say it has some of that charm to it. And it could definitely, you could definitely tell that they have the potential to go that way. So like, I personally think like right now is going to be one of those things where it's just like, okay, we got good foundation. We got a core cast of cool characters that can do cool things, but a real bang for the buck is the fact that we know what Hero Games can do with cool games. You know, we know what's gonna like what can happen eventually. Oh, this is an old build though, as Chishia is our older design, so this character may very well get redesigned to some aspect. Oh wait, hold on. What are these? Are these different moves? Wait, if these are different moves, okay, I'm not gonna say anything, but this may very well change the dynamic of the game if these are different like moves, like different skills you can have. They kind of look like they're different affinities. Because if those are passive like those on, they appear to be skills. It was too fast for me to read it. Oh, well, I could pause it. So here's one of them. I mean, I can't read it, but have a good story structure, TBH. I mean, if it goes anything off of what PGR does, it's going to have a very good story building, in my opinion. You have an option to upgrade this skill. Okay, so what happens when they click on it? Like, so are these different skills? Are these upgrades for skills? Or are these just upgrades? They kind of look like they're different skills, and then you can upgrade the skill. So are those two different? Yeah, I see the blue bar. So I'm guessing this is like you can upgrade it. I was just wondering if like, so if these are different equipable skills, that means like you can technically play a character the way that you like. Is what I was wondering. I was just wondering if you could like equip the different, because like, okay, so when they go back into the main UI, whenever they go back out, the reason I say that is because down here at the bottom, I can get my mouse out of the way, you can kind of see that there's a E and R. Basically, those are your only two like actual abilities. The Q would be for your monster. The V looks like it's like the firefly thing. So yeah, if you can have an equipable skill, that means you can play things differently than somebody else. And on top of that, you can have things for different like dungeons and stuff. Maybe some stuff is just more better for situations. Yeah, I mean, I think that's really insane because I don't think we have something like that in an open world right now for gacha games. Yeah, it definitely looks like, okay, well right here, it looks like they're using maybe their mouse to click. See, the thing is right now we can't see what basic attacks are. I imagine that's a string that they're using on the basic attack command because it's not down there like it is with PGR. Because on PGR, obviously it's a phone thing, so it's going to have like your basic attack's going to be there. But on this, it's not. Basically any skill you want. I mean, I imagine they're probably gonna have some sort of subset skills that only the character can have. I want to see what this character does. This looks like some sort of like debuff buff character with summons. That's pretty cool though, because that means like you can kind of do it the way that you want. It also makes it just easier on content creators because you can kind of play differently than somebody else. So it gives like a viewer an incentive to watch somebody else because they don't just spam the same stuff. If that makes sense. You can have different builds than somebody else, which I think is nice. Oh, they already have VAs for English. GN just said something in English. So they already have English VAs. In game. For skill combos already? I mean, maybe that's the bread and butter here. You know what I mean? I don't know. Bring back the PGR guides. Such an interesting character, or mob. Balancing issues? Maybe at the beginning. Although it seems like he's the only one talking. Spent money on that guy. This game is still in closed beta. So this is closed beta gameplay. So that just means that this person pretty much from IGN got it like a month in advance to play. This is basically what we'll end up playing. This part though, I think is very similar to Genshin in terms of, I imagine this is how you use your stam. This has to be a resin system, yeah. Which, you know, is what it is, I guess. I'm not too familiar with the resin system in Genshin, and I don't really know why it's bad or like why people don't like it. But I wish they'd zoom out. I want to see the world. What's the resin system? So basically you do something like that. So you do like a fight like this. And basically whenever you're done with the fight, you can consume stamina for the reward, or like the rewards here. So like right here, you're pretty much choosing like, hey, do you want to use your stamina to claim your prize basically? And then you get all these resources for using the stam. So you can only use so much stam. And then, you know, pretty much do that. I mean, I think the loot box at that point though would still be claimable. That loot box, I'm pretty sure, is just a reward for doing it. Maybe a first time clear. I start to think that maybe isn't an XP thing though. This can't be an EXP ticket because you're getting EXP anyway. So it limits how much you can get. Well, so you can't just go around defeating every like kind of big battle like that and just get a ton of rewards. Basically, you're kind of capped on the stamina system there. That's the way that they get you to use stamina in open worlds, because like they're not going to have you use you know, stamina for running around the open world. You're going to get kind of frustrated because you can't go and do what you want to do. So that's just basically a way to kind of get people to, you know, if you want the reward, you have to use your stam. If you're out of stam, you might have to use the currency to do it. Yeah, so that's kind of the thing. It's a way for them to get you to use your stam and then kind of promote, basically, if you want to use the currency or something else to kind of keep doing those things. But that doesn't stop you from running around the open world. It doesn't stop you from probably collecting all the different stuff. And it most likely, and if not, if it's anything like Genshin, it doesn't stop you from doing the story. The only thing that ever stops you from doing the story is level stuff. And I almost know for a fact that they will do level stuff because they do that in PGR. It just goes based on your account level, but you get to a point where you pretty much have everything unlocked. So it's kind of a slow grind at the beginning, but once you get to a certain level, you can kind of do whatever. I imagine they'll have something like that. I'm guessing that's what this Union level 9 is. You have to be a certain Union whatever level to, you know, go on to the next phase of the story. That's just ways that they do it. Pretty much limit your grinding so you can pay them to grind more. I would say that the reason, okay, so it's not that you can't grind anymore, and it's not even that you can't get those resources somewhere else. Basically what this does is it just has a ton of resources that it gives you at the end of it. So like this is quite a bit of resources and stuff like that. So basically it's a way to stop somebody from just gathering tons and tons of resources like super quickly, because this is probably going to be like the most efficient way to get these resources very quickly. And so they put a stamina attached to it. That doesn't mean that you can't go get EXP. Obviously you can go do other things and get EXPs. I'm guessing that these have something to do with maybe your, I'm not really sure, maybe faction level or something. I don't know what these look like. These are probably some sort of health or something. I'm not sure, but it's not that you can't go get those resources other means. But from what I've seen on Genshin, typically that's the fastest way to get like really quick resources, basically. So you're kind of giving up stam for the fact that you get kind of a bulk of resources pretty quickly. It's from what I understand. Like I said, I don't know too much about the Genshin stuff. But one thing I would say is that this, I don't know what these vouchers are, bro. These have to be summonable currencies or something. I don't know, because why would you get Union EXPs? Oh, okay, now that I actually think about it, maybe it's these are for your overall account level, and then these ticket vouchers are for your EXP for your characters. That maybe make more sense. And then these coins are just like the general currency. Actually, that makes more sense. Maybe those are just for your characters individually. I actually have quite a bit of fast travel though. Powerful skill performed by 2 resonators, switching resonators while the concert echo, I don't know how to say that. Vibrancy is fully charged, will trigger the effect based on, okay. Max to 250 or 240. Crystals from chest and Genshin. Yeah, maybe. It's hard to say. I like that's why I don't want to speculate too much, because I have no idea. It just seems like you get a lot of them, so I can't imagine they're summonable currencies, but maybe it's just because they're one-time things. And so it's kind of like they give a lot because you're not going to get them again, basically. Although I'm kind of wondering what that thing is. Is this like some sort of like elemental charge? Because each person has that when they come out. It kind of looks like it goes up. It kind of looks like it just goes up. You think that, okay, so that's the effect I was talking about on that that loading screen. Okay. So that's maybe the effect that you're trying to get. You're trying to build it up, basically. It kind of looks like that bar goes between characters too. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so that's probably the charge up then. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and it looks like it's actually between your two, like all your characters, so you don't have to keep redoing it. This is the funniest part. I like this part. Random ass bull hits you and just beats your ass. What's up, AK? I like to think that they didn't mean to do that, but it resets. Oh, okay, it resets when you switch characters. I thought it stayed. Maybe they just build it up fast. I kind of like that. Cool little gimmick to. What's that in front of him? Big Boss? Much more flashier than Genshin. When's the beta? April 24th? 21st? It's not the 21st, is it? Yeah, I think it's the 24th. The only reason I kind of remember is because Star Rail comes out on the 26th, and it's like literally back to back. I can certainly see how combat can get more complex as you switch characters and try to chain skills and combos. The biggest thing is there will most likely be characters who work very well on QTE switches. Because if it's anything like PGR, there are tons of teams that don't only rely on the elemental bonds, but they also have like very good key points on like just situational team stuff. Like for example, the physical team with Alpha, it doesn't even have anybody really on it, I guess, if you use Bliv, but it uses like Alpha, Karen, and then Nanami. And Karen's there to drag everybody in. And then you use Alpha's skill to just mess everybody up. So there's a lot of key components that I feel like teams are going to matter a lot more. And it's not going to be technically like, I feel like right now the biggest thing on Genshin is the fact that you want the combinations between the elementals. I think the big thing for this game is going to be you want teams that structure and complement each other, basically. Or excellent beating every boss with one character. I mean, you could probably do it. I mean, we've seen the parries and stuff like that. Having parries and stuff like that gives you very, very good room to be like very good at the game and be rewarded for it. The parry system like that, especially the way it looks like it rewards you very well for being good at the game. So, and if anything by PGR standards as well, PGR, like it gives you way more for being good at the game. It's basically like, I don't know. It's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to be like kind of rewarded if you like take the time to. It says TDLR if you like. It wasn't even that long of a research. Hold on. Please spare a few minutes and try out this equipment before you, and if you will, give it a. And it just says how the equipment TDR if you like. Oh, is the TDR down here? Oh, Echo Academy. It's a research journal. It's kind of cool.
Balance and alternation.
I mean, there's definitely going to be scenarios where people do that, but kind of cool. I mean, it's cool that you can do it. I like the parry system. Obviously, I like the dodges. I think the combat's going to be a lot more. Like, I think it could be casual if you want it to be, but if you want to be like really, really cool and you want to be real cool, do cool stuff, then you'd probably be able to do the parries and all that different stuff and get rewarded for it. I can't wait though. Like basically when the beta comes out, that's all I'm gonna freaking play if we can get into it.
Most problem for supplies.
You know, I don't know. Honestly, that might be like the currency for summons because I haven't really seen another way to get it. And chests seem to be like a pretty like standard way to get currency for pulls. But it looks like you also got a broad blade. It's a great sword. I wonder if the rarity is always going to be like poor poopy stuff though. So I would imagine that this game is going to have weapon gotcha because PGR does. But I really hope that they keep like a very low pity. Having a 30 pity on PGR for 100%. Look. They better keep the pity and the fact that if you hit pity, you get the character 100%. That's the biggest thing that I want to see. If they have to adjust, like maybe like the 60 pity and PGR, maybe they have to go to like 80, 90 or whatever. I wouldn't want to see that. But if they had to, I hope that it's okay, fine. You know what? You get an 80 pity for a character, but you 100% get the character at that point. Like, I want them to keep the 60, obviously, but if they keep anything, I hope it's the fact that you get 100%. If you hit pity, you 100% time gets the character. I don't want to play 50-50. I don't want to play 50-50 and have to go back up to pity. If I played the game, like if I played the pity game, let me have the character. And then I really hope that they also have pity on weapons, because right now it's 30 for PGR, which I think is nice. I think if they do, I hope they keep the ratio half. So like if it goes up to 80 or whatever, like just hypothetically, if it goes up to 80 on the gotcha rate for the main stuff, that it's 40 on the pit, like on the weapon pity. I like that they like, I don't want them to increase, but you guys want to get what I'm saying. I like that they have it. And I like that it's 100%. Like if I'm going to spend the money and try to get a character, bro, let me get the character. See, this is another question though. So this definitely looks like a place you can go, because here's the gate for it over here to the right. This actually might be, isn't this the place they were at in the technical test? The ecosystem. Is that like is the ecosystem the Pokemon thing? I'm not too familiar with the terminologies that they're using. I know the echo. I think echoes are the mobs, right? Yeah, I think that's really cool. Like, I think that's a really cool setting too. You believe so? Yeah, I think this is the, yeah, it definitely looks like it, right? Because this is the middle with a tree. I remember running across, them running across.
Prueba Zyrtec.
So this is like the technical test. So this was what am I doing? Why am I on a thumbnail? So this was Chishi originally before she got redesigned. Don't mind me in the corner. Oh, you can't see me because I'm covering myself. So this is what she looked like originally. I think even the rover got redesigned to some extent. You can tell, like, obviously YouTube's quality is kind of dumb because I'm watching a YouTube video while streaming, so it's a YouTube within a YouTube thing. But I feel like the quality definitely got ramped up. I actually get to see some stuff. Zach, shut the hell up. This is going to be kind of a random stream. I wasn't actually planning on doing this. Oh, were you? Anyway, you get to hear me roast myself. So let's just kind of fast forward here, though. What a weird car. It kind of looks like it's a one-seater. I think the rover got redesigned too. The rover definitely looks way. So I think like here, I don't know if I'm wrong here, but it definitely looks like their heads are gigantic. Psychic trick where the enemies are objects, so they count as something that. Like her head looks gigantic, bro. Infinite air dash. Yeah, I mean DMC has some of the coolest combat just because they're able to do that. I'm not listening to myself. Oh, they even changed the stamina bar now that I actually watch it. So that's how the stamina bar was originally. Now they have the kind of the circle thing. So they actually went through a kind of a big redesign on a lot of the different stuff. I would say like the general idea of the UI looks very similar. The health bar got readjusted a little bit. But it runs kind of like not smoothly on the technical test. See, this is the stuff that caught my attention. Okay, yeah, you can do the basic wall climb, but you can wall run. That's so dope to me, dude. Like, you want to get somewhere fast, like, you know how many times I'm climbing something and I'm like, dude, I just want to get up there, dude. I don't want to be down. Like, I just don't want to sit here and climb forever. Let me use my stamina. Let me get up there. Yeah, I got to rework too. Oh, the bottom rhythm bar. Like, if I have the stam, let me have it. Oh yeah, you also don't get to see the elemental. Jeez, they really did Chishi out so bad. Not gonna. Oh, the map actually got reworked too. Look at the map. Yeah, that's what the map used to look like. You still had fast travel, it looked like. Well, they even redid the freaking loading screen. Okay, so yeah, this is the one. This is one where our GN is looking out and over. I think this is the city there. I mean, it's been a long time since the technical test, almost a year. I don't even know when this came out. 8 months ago. So yeah, it's been about 8 months. You know, to be honest though, I'm actually pretty happy that they decided, like, they went with a lot of good decisions in my opinion. In 8 months, they really focused on the stuff that mattered to me. Like the UI, getting some of the characters redesigned, and the like kind of functionality and flow of the world. You can even see like some of this stuff in the background. I know it's hard to see, but some of this stuff looks like it's like almost not rendered in. You know what I mean? Like some of this stuff, like if you kind of look at it in the background, there'll be a moment. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's sometimes where like somebody's not rendered in right, and it's kind of a weird spot. I don't understand how people do this with mobile games. Oh, like make games like this? Well, I imagine they work with PC first and then build down, to be honest. I mean, because it's not going to look as good on a mobile, most likely, but mobile's also come a long way. Okay, so wait, actually, this might be a good example. So there's going to be a guy that walks across here at this bridge, and you're going to see him, hopefully. Oh, you can't see him. Never mind. I lied. Yeah, the boss fight's got me ecstatic. Yeah, they definitely redesigned Rover. At least the female version. I don't know if we've really got to see the male except for in the boss fight initially. I would say that Yang, she didn't get too much for rework. I would say that she got kind of more of an HD render. Like basically she just got kind of HDified. But she looks a lot better too. It's like in that model, I don't know where it shows her face. Actually not that much of a change, to be honest. It's actually pretty much the same. Yeah, maybe not different. Damn ads, bro. What is this? What the hell is this? Right here. It's kind of hard to say though, because like I'm watching back my video. Sussy looking ad. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that actually kind of that was kind of a cool animation. I mean, she has, yeah, it definitely did. Like how they just casually walk in here and these are enemies. I'm pretty excited though, because like 8 months seems like a long time, but honestly, to go from like this kind of combat, like this doesn't even really like, it looks like PGR kind of stuff. Honestly, this almost isn't even that flashy. Like it almost looks like the overall combat also kind of got a glimpse. So here's a little bit faster the combat, I guess. A little bit quicker than what we were just seeing. Like it definitely looks a lot slower. Like this looks like a way slower pacing version of it. Although they are using more of an aerial thing, but that makes me think that maybe the person playing IGN wasn't using aerial that much. So it kind of makes me think that like, so the hard thing about interpreting like gameplay like this, it kind of does depend on the person playing though. So like the person playing this may not have really used aerial. I don't even think they ever jumped. So like, to watch this, I don't think this person ever jumps. They're always pretty grounded. But I wonder if they do that because like when you play Genshin and stuff, there's not really a oh, well, I guess they kind of jump. But there's not really a reason to jump in Genshin, so maybe they just kind of assumed that. Because I definitely feel like there's aerial like combat. Especially for those who plan to main Wuthering Waves. Have they talked about game modes and stuff like that? Like, I wonder how much content's really going to be at the beginning. I feel like it's going to have a pretty dope story. At least. Some juicy boss fights, yeah. Like I feel like, so that's kind of the hard part. Like I said, I feel like you can only really judge it so much because I feel like there's a layer of this game that we're not really seeing because of the person playing. I'm not saying that the person playing is bad, but I don't feel like they're using part of the combat. Like the aerial part of it, I don't feel like they're using it that much. They kind of do in this fight up here. Like if I skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, the redesign for the UI is so much better. Like I feel like Kiro Games definitely took a little bit of feedback, maybe from the technical tests, and definitely implemented it very well. It's almost like looks like a different game. Like you can even see like the shadow and lighting in this game looks far better now than it did. Everything just looks so much more fleshed out. Like even the mobs look like they have the shadows that they're supposed to have. You can kind of tell that they're a little bit more rendered. What did IGN rate this game? I don't know. Do they say that? But I don't know if they do that until after release, do they? They've said anything. I don't think they've rated it. It looks like they were just Saying what platforms it's on. So mobile and PC has been confirmed. And then I don't think they've talked about console. First impressions? No. I'll show you what they said. So this is what they got. When you ever look up Wuthering Waves. They have images and screenshots. Then they have the summary. Then it says initial release though. March 27th, 2023. I don't think that was the initial release. It's today. So it's supposed to come out today. No, they didn't say much. I don't know. Maybe I could go to reviews. Maybe not. I don't know. You're sad after looking at it? I thought people were pretty nice. When I was reading it, like when it came out, everybody was saying pretty nice things. Change to newest? I don't know if I want to do that. Share motivation, kind of similar to Genshin Impact. Definitely a TOF killer, but never a Genshin killer. I tweeted about that recently. I think this is a stupid thing to say. The game looks finished, but they will make you wait till you're dead. Oh, Genshin Impact and Pokemon had a baby in Ball. The muted color palette and punishing everyone was the godparent. So yes, out of 10. Okay. Hopefully this won't be server-based MMO. It's not an MMO. Yo, the real Genshin killer. Literally the opposite color palette as Genshin, I would say. I like how people say like practically identical. I know what they're saying because I bet they're talking about this part right here. It's up in the corner basically because it has like the portrait of the person, a backpack which Genshin doesn't own, and then nobody can compare it to Breath of the Wild because everybody forgot that was the original open world game. The swinging thing? Wait, Genshin doesn't have a wire bug, does it? Yeah, this game looks like, I don't know. The lighting in this game already looks better, in my opinion. Like, look at the way that she's lit. And the models are like almost a completely different style. Oh, the challenge from the start of the video? I was gonna say, I don't remember Genshin having that level of movement. The game already runs far better. This is easily 60 FPS. I don't know. The whole like Genshin thing kind of always pisses me off because I think it's just so unfair to the game. Like, did Kiro Game probably go and look at some of the stuff that Genshin and, you know, Breath of the Wild was doing and be like, okay, that's super successful. How do I implement that into my game? Probably. But I think they decided to take a formula that was already established and add some cool stuff to it and kind of add their own spin on it and their own like universe to it. I feel like that's cool. Why not Arc Knights? Well, because nobody can make a tower defense game like Arc Knights game. Yeah. Like, this game clearly has stuff, but the thing is, it's not like Genshin owns the open world stuff. Like, these games are doing what open world games do. It's not even, it has nothing to do with Genshin at all. Like, it's just stuff that open world games do because you have to have it. It makes sense to have it. Like, there's just like, what are they going to do? Just not implement stuff that makes sense in an open world game? An open world game thing. It's not a Genshin thing. It's what open world games do. It's a genre. The reason it's part of a genre is because it does the things that genre does. Genshin and Wuthering Waves are part of a genre. If you want it to be different, then it would be its own thing. It'd be PGR. If you want it to be a different, like not an open, like basically they're asking for it to not be an open world because Genshin's an open world. That's pretty much what they're saying.
Most proper for some
I don't want to have open world aspects because Genshin has open world aspects. Okay, so do you like open world games? Yes. Okay. Fucking play play open world games. I don't know. When they use abilities, yeah, the movement's really cool. So they haven't been doing it, but that wire bug that they're using right now, that they're zipping around here, you can use that in combat, which is one thing that I wondered when I first saw it. So you can use it in combat. The person in IGN isn't using it like that, but that's another cool thing. You can use it to do different combat, get in and out of combat. I've seen people do it in the technical test. It was really cool. Which that's another cool thing to this game is like there's going to be a variety of ways that people play basically just on their own. Like maybe I like to use the wire bug to get in and out of combat. Maybe somebody else doesn't because it's on a different, like there's a little gadget wheel that they have. Look, I don't even understand why they care. Like, okay, so anyway, yeah, if they'll just compete, if this some way grew up to be the Genshin, like Genshin size, you know what that would mean? That would mean Genshin would have to compete and they would probably do things more in line with what the player wants, and they would do things based on what the player wants because they know another game could do it. So that helps you. It helps both of you. It helps Wuthering Waves fans and it helps Genshin fans. There's tons of people that are probably going to still play both, and it's just going to help. Having somebody sit on top all the time is why Genshin's able to do 50-50s and have high pities and high, like people spending 2-3 grand on it because nobody else is competing right now. So Genshin just does what it wants. Genshin can have a couple lame ass updates because who's it competing against, bro? Ain't nobody gonna take it away. I mean, respect to Genshin for typically not having bad updates and, you know, being pretty good in that aspect when they don't have to be, really. But at the end of the day, it's always good for an industry to have stuff. I feel like the game's doing enough stuff by itself. Like this, the monster hunting collecting thing, that's a cool gimmick. I've not seen very many games do that stuff outside of Pokemon, and to be able to kind of implement it in a way that makes sense in an open world game like this makes sense. You're not doing Pokemon battles, but you have stuff that gives you like different abilities. That's cool. You know, it's not like I'm out here like Pokemon battling, but Tower of Fantasy was it was never going to compete with Genshin. Anybody who said that, okay, well, thing is, when Tower of Fantasy was at this state, it was still jank. I mean, again, I would, okay, tell me that that's not right though. Look at their heads. Their heads are way better than they were in the technical test. Am I wrong? This is the updated rover. Let me find the other rover. Do I still have that pulled up? There's no shot. The other rover was like weird. Look at her head. Her head's massive, dude. Her head is massive. Massive as hell, dude. Or at least her hair's fluffed up the hell. You know what's kind of interesting though? So I know that Wuthering Waves isn't very vibrant, but you know what's weird is like when this kind of gray color palette was almost like kind of not cool. Like this was almost too much like nothingness. Everything was like mute. This is like, it's still obviously kind of a more darker tones, but it definitely looks more alive than this. This looks like kind of weird. I don't know. Like obviously this isn't as vibrant as some of the other games like Genshin and stuff like that, but this is still definitely way more alive than the other one. And yeah, it's probably lighting and environment. I bet the same color palette's probably the same. 300k videos in 24 hours. By the way, game's gonna be huge. I mean, I can't talk for other creators, dude, but I hope people just leave. Like, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it because I already know the creator's gonna jump on the Genshin killer thing. I think that ruins games, dude. I think that when people do that shit, I think it ruins the potential for the game because it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, don't do that. I will, like, Like, and honestly, I don't even care about the videos that do like the comparisons, like side to side. That's cool. It's kind of cool to see the game side by side and see like how they kind of differ and stuff like that. I don't think those are inherently like kind of bad videos. You know, like to have like just a general like kind of side by side, it's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool video. It's nice to see like the different colors, the aesthetics, but it's like when people like content creators like this is the next Genshin killer. Like I already imagine it's in the search results. Permafrost team. Probably just living things. Yeah, I think it's probably just the lighting because the shadows are casted better and you can actually see like the shadows crevice in there. I was also saying that about the enemies. Same. I have no idea if it's in the same universe as PGR. That'd be pretty dope, but I don't imagine so just based on my knowledge on PGR. Just because like I don't know where this would be.
Something you need?
And even say post-apocalyptic. Yeah, but a lot of people haven't played PGR. Like you, like for anybody who's played PGR, like PGR is beautiful, but it's very dark and it's very gray, but it's beautiful. The characters are very like fleshed out and the story's really good, but it's gray as hell. I just want to play a game in peace without toxic content calling Genshin killer. I really don't care because I like hero games. That's all. Like I said, bro, I like if anybody comes in here and they're just like, hey, is this like Genshin? I will probably say, yes, it's an open world game. Has very similar concepts, but it's doing its own thing. Like I will never not acknowledge the fact that Genshin is like a decent game. For a lot of people, Genshin's a fun game. It's their first gacha game. Great. I'm glad people got to do that. But like, you know. Where the fuck is co-op? I mean, there might be co-op. We don't really know. Revenant? But honestly, I do think that it's somewhat, I don't want to say that this is like entirely true, but I do think it's up to content creators to structure better, like to structure their communities better. Cause like, I don't know. I really feel like communities on like YouTube and stuff like that, these content creators just don't realize how much of a push they have when it comes to creating toxic environments around games. I feel like it's just like, obviously it's just going to happen like on Reddit and Twitter and shit like that. You can't stop that. But I feel like when it comes to chats and stuff, you could definitely have just open conversations about why Genshin's a good game while having conversation about Wuthering Waves. And I really feel like there's a ton of people who are going to play both. I really feel like people are going to play Genshin when they're just kind of casual and they want to hang out and just kind of have a little bit of fun. And then they're going to want to fire up Wuthering Waves when they're feeling like having a little bit of a challenge. I think that's where the dynamic between a character, like a person who wants to do that. Let him cook. What's up, AK? Thanks for the 9 months. I said what's up like you haven't been here for the last, hour and a half, but thanks for the 9 months. I think AK was like one of my, David and AK are one of my two first subs. I almost said favorite subs. Anyway, well, members, sorry. Terminology is different on YouTube. But yeah, I think that these can exist in different ways, and I think they will exist in different ways. I feel like a person's gonna play both games differently. It's like I think Genshin's more casual, and this game's probably gonna be a little bit harder. Oh god, are we going with Wuda? Wuda? I just say WW. Although I feel like WW is harder to search for. Wuda, Wuda, Wuda. I think calling a game Genshin Killer doesn't make any sense. A game doesn't need to compete to become popular, in my opinion. I think it's fine competing, but I don't think it needs to take anybody out. See, that's the thing with the Genshin Killer shit. It acts like, okay, well, Genshin's had its reign. Time for Wuthering Waves. Okay, bye. Like it has to have a new king of like open world gacha games. Like it can't just be these guys hanging out together. It has to be one dethrones the other one and takes over. It's like half the games be together. They can compete, but you want the companies to compete, not the fan bases. Like if the companies compete against each other, that means that you're going to end up with scenarios that work for the crowd, the players. That will always be better for the players if these companies compete. Like, don't be dumb and compete as a community, because then that's exactly what the games are going to benefit from, because then you're going to go spend more money in whatever. Yeah, so it's not a replacement. Like there's other reasons to play Genshin. There's a lot of cool things in Genshin. I think that the elemental factor that it has and being able to do like kind of combo the elemental stuff is really cool. That's a really cool gimmick. I don't quite get it in Genshin entirely, but I think it's a cool gimmick. It's a little bit more casual, but that's only because Genshin makes it casual. They could be a little bit like they could be way intensive with that mechanic if they wanted to be. The role versus the MC, yeah. So I think it's female male. I think you get to well, I'm pretty sure you get to choose. And then I think it's gonna be kind of like what Star Rail is, where the MC probably has the same attacks. So I don't think there's gonna be like a perk to one or the other, basically. You know what I mean? Like I don't think one's gonna be better than the other. And canon wise, if they decide to go like kind of the way that Genshin does with the story, I don't know if they've talked about that or whatever. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong if you guys play Genshin, I think the Aether, the male character, is technically like canon as the main character, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Overhype it. I mean, it is pretty hype, but I understand what you're saying. Like, I think it's a terminology that people use when they're trying to hype the game. They want to make it sound like it's a replacement for a certain game or whatever, or it's going to be the next most innovative thing in the entire world, and how, you know, this and that's going to get screwed. And then that kind of hype is like, okay, well, it's not going to replace Genshin. Genshin's been here a really long time, has a very established community. It can't overthrow that very like overnight. It's like, why instead of like proclaiming it that way, we just say, okay, well, first off, though, I do remember actually Tower of Fantasy maybe pushing into that. Am I wrong? I remember Tower of Fantasy at one point almost saying that, like it was going to fight against Genshin or something like that. Or was that the content creators? I think the PGR global event thing was a couple of different reasons, but oh, okay. So it was the creators. Okay. That makes sense. I was just wondering because I kind of remembered, but I didn't want to say if I was wrong. I mean, it was definitely probably the creators. I will say one thing about PGR that I like. This is one thing that I do not. I hope Kiro Games has learned, and I think that they have, because they've kind of reshaped. Honestly, I think that they've brought back PGR to an extent where people are going to play, like, you know, be kind of in it. They got the PC client going and all that stuff. But the one thing that they struggled with the PGR global side was marketing.
Most proper for supplies.
They did not market the game at all. They had a couple of different drama issues with the beginning of like it coming out, the market or the shop or whatever had issues. And it was kind of they didn't get ahead of it fast enough, and it almost tanked their game. But I think the biggest point that kind of almost screwed PGR is the marketing. They did not market correctly. Yeah, it was like $1 discrepancy or something like that. It was like $1 more globally or something like that, or $1 less. I can't remember. It was $1 one way or the other. Obviously it was stupid because it's like you should just have it the same. But the other thing is like the fact that they just don't market. They didn't market PGR forever. Like they didn't get in contact with creators. They didn't like they didn't push the game. They're kind of just like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Like that was basically like their mindset because they knew that CN was so popular. Now, the thing about Wuthering Waves is I think, I don't know if this is confirmed. Somebody can tell me. I think it's coming out globally, like launch. Because I think the issue with PGR is they had CN and CN was like the baby. Like CN marketing was phenomenal for PGR, actually. I still to this day think it's phenomenal. I like the way that they do stuff. I like the way they present stuff. They have live streams. They have all kinds of different events and stuff like that. For CN, they do phenomenal work on CN. That's why it's so popular, and plus has really cool characters and all that stuff. But I think that's one of the reasons it's so popular in CN is because they did the marketing right, and then all of a sudden they're like, global, you remember the game we made in CN, right? Well, remember that? You go play that. Here's a couple trailers converted to English. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that was my point, is that if it comes out, we know that Kiro Games understands marketing and is actually pretty decent at it, but they're not very good at the global marketing. I think that they really tried to push on the whole CN thing being way too like enticing or whatever, and they just wanted to kind of have that go for it, and they didn't really care too much about the global marketing. But if it comes out simultaneously, then that kind of makes me realize that they'll probably push the hell out of it. That's fair. Okay, well, I think the issues with PGR is just like, it gets repetitive. I mean, let's be honest to some degree, like the events are really cool story-wise, but they have kind of a hard way of making stuff that isn't kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say boring, but like it seems kind of similar. Just transform to a bird. I think it was a dragonfly. Oh, it's in zone 0 now. We haven't got any news since the closed beta, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think that going back to what you said earlier, AK, about the TOF thing, it's because I feel like the game had an identity crisis. I think that's what happened to Tower of Fantasy. I honestly think it has some pretty good concepts, and I actually think it could have been pretty successful. And it is, you know, it's not a bad game, but I think the problem with it is it had an identity crisis between being an open world and MMO. I think it thought that meant very similar things, and I feel like they're very distinct things, depending on what you want to do with it. You can have an open world MMO, and you can have an open world single player game, or, you know, something that has casual co-op. I feel like you can't really have both. You can't have it make it an open MMO world with like card. It's hard to do that. Because if you go into the MMO space, you're fighting with a lot of games. You're fighting with like Final Fantasy, fighting with WoW. You're fighting a lot bigger battle, in my opinion. I mean, I know Genshin's huge, massive, but it's just Genshin that you really had to fight with in that space. But you're fighting against like Final Fantasy, WoW, all that different stuff. If you're gonna go down the MMO route, you better have a damn good MMO. Can't have no hybrid bullshit. Like, that's just my opinion. Yeah, PGR can be kind of enticing at the beginning, especially because a lot of those characters at the very beginning were very crucial to the rest of your gameplay. Although I'll say PGR is one of the most friendly free to play games I've played. IMO. Arknights would be second. And the only reason I say PGR is first is just because the pity system, frankly.
Something you need?
The Breath of the Wild, yeah. I mean, until it establishes its own fan base and build its own community. I feel like Wuthering Waves will do that. There's tons of people that'll compare it to Genshin, and then Wuthering Waves will fight back when it has its own bigger community, and everybody will kind of just go their separate ways and hopefully play the games that they like. And then everybody can be happy just playing games that they like instead of bitching about what other people are doing. I enjoy PGR's gameplay more than AK. I guess that depends though. Did you grow up with like action RPGs and like, you know, DMC and JRPGs and stuff like that? I feel like that's kind of the big thing. I mean, the tower defense is cool too. I don't know, like tower defense to me is like playing chess, where it's like, I enjoy a good game of chess. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. It's fun playing a good game of chess, kind of thinking about it, kind of going through it. But then there's games where I just kind of want to play an action role-playing game, and I kind of want to just flex the old fingers and think about fighting in a different way. I don't want to get a little bit more personal. On your small Android phone, I think they serve different things. Like sometimes you don't want to play chess all the time. Yeah, sometimes you just like, do you want something that's mentally exhausting where you have to think about each and every move, or do you want something that's a little bit more like faster pace where you have to think like pretty quickly and you have to be on your toes and stuff? I feel like, I don't know, they're definitely two sides to it. But the thing that I've always struggled with right now is just finding a game that can itch the other side of it. Like, because I've been doing the tower defense stuff and playing chess basically, but I've never really been able to find like an action game that's been able to itch like the fun and the need for it to have those quick snappy thoughts and the quick like, ooh, I just did a really cool thing. Because like the game's gonna have parry in chat. You understand? Like, you know how good it feels to parry something in a game like this, to parry something, to perfect dodge. Like if you guys have played PGR, how good does it feel when you perfect dodge something, man? You feel like you're the main character in an anime. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you're the dude, the guy, the dog.
Something you need?
You know, so like, and I can already tell that this game is kind of capturing that moment too. You're gonna feel very good when you're just going against a boss, slow walk his ass, parry him. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel like the main character. And I feel like that's what this game does very well. Like having a perfect dodge and having, yeah, like Sekiro. Like how cool does it feel to do a cool parry, slice down the dude? Like, you know, there's just stuff like that you can't really replicate in a game like Genshin and stuff like that. A mood swing, yeah. But it's nice to have two games. Like, you know, if you want to play Arknights and you want to be a little bit more mental focused, have a little bit of time to make your decisions and stuff like that, that's perfect. That's great. I want both. Like I want something I can swap on and off on, you know what I mean? This is like the perfect vibe for me where I can like play Arknights on the channel Get a little bit of a burnout. Next day, swap to Wuthering Waves, play a little bit of action, get a little bit fight, you know, get my ass kicked, get really pissed at a boss, switch back to chess. You know what I mean? I mean, there's gonna be days where there's probably bosses that are gonna piss somebody off because there's already two phases from what I've understand, but most bosses have two phases, which and it does look like the boss has more erratic more different attacks and stuff like that. So you're gonna have to kind of think a little bit. I don't know the difficulty on the bosses though. I can't gauge that so far, but it definitely looks like stuff's based on your level. The emotes are fire. Yeah, I think that's a Dark Souls mechanic is what we were saying. I am the girl. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it gives you the feeling of like just a badass, bro. Like, you just feel like a badass. But I don't know, man. Like, this is like right up my alley and the stuff that I really wanted to see in the gaming culture right now. I feel like a lot of games are going very casual when it comes to open worlds, and we're just getting a ton of that, man. Like, I don't know. I want to see something like this. I want to have the fun combat. I don't know. Like, Tower of Fantasy had me for a little bit, but I almost feel like it's almost too floaty. I don't know. I don't really know what like, look at that, bro. Look at that shit. Look how seamless GN is doing this. Watch him go up. Watch him hit this guy in the air and continue that combo. You know how cool that is? That's such a small detail. Bam. Knocks him up. Hits him again. Knocks him up. Continues through it. And he had more, dude. He had more in the tank. He just killed the guy. Like, that's such a cool concept. You're like, that's such a flowy combat. Sorry if I keep repeating this. Yeah, you can jump in midair too, but I'm pretty sure that was just a follow-up onto the combo. Like, this guy just dies. Bam, bam, bam. Into the combo. Into a smack. Yeah, he's gone. He could have kept attacking too. It's so cool just to be a bird guy with long hair. Oh, the green guy? I think it's GN. It's JI A something in? I don't remember. Happy. GN. Yeah, but don't you say JI is G and then E See, I studied all these names before I got on stream so I could say them right. Yeah, GN. But I thought it was GN. Don't you say this Yin? As Yin? I don't know. I know you say JI as in like a G, right? GN? I don't know, I could be wrong. Because another name I studied was Seashells. Seashells? Damn, now I can't say her name right. Like, chat, how do you say this name? It'd be Chi, as in Chi. Chi Shao. Is that Chishe? I can't remember. Should be G? Yeah, G. Is it not G? I thought the JI would be a G. Shao. Yeah. It'd be Chi. Xia. Chi Xia. Chi. I don't know. The only reason I remember this is because in Dragon Ball Z, I always call her Chi Chi. I've always called her Chi Chi. You know who I mean? Chi Chi. I don't know. I always thought her name was Chi Chi, so that's what I've always called her. So it's Chi. Xia. Chi Xiao. Chi Xiao. Anyway. Chat, you guys are supposed to be the experts.
Till the right time.
In Dragon Ball, you're saying it right? Well, I'll probably just call it Chi. To be honest, like, I probably won't say her full name all the time. I'll probably just call her Chi. Because it's easier. I don't know. Hexia real. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, T-Chomp. Hexia. Yeah, where is there? Why didn't people call her? Why aren't people saying they're Arknights clones? These are Arknights characters.
Most proper for supplies.
Chia, Chi-Chomp. Chi-Chow. Gun Himiko. Shisha. Shisha? I don't know. I thought I studied these names and then now I'm like I'm butchering it.
Xia,
Shia.
Xia,
Shishia.
Xia.
Shishia. I think that's it. The whole roster for CBT. It looks like they're actually gonna have more characters. They've been earlier we kind of went through. I think maybe I have it pulled up still. No. They probably have a little bit more characters. So he was a lot. So they have like these two together. So obviously this is GN, and then this character I think I can't remember their name. We got a couple other characters. So we have this character. We should have. I never know how to say this chick. I think we may have this character as well. I call her Anki, but I don't know if her name's Anki. We also haven't got this guy, which actually, funny enough, he actually has a gun too. Now that I just realized it. Cause this is her. Yeah, so this is her. Oh, the thing is weird though. They actually don't go in order though. So she was in here with him, right? But then they announced. That's so weird. And then they went ahead and just announced this guy, GN. And then they just forgot about the dude, this guy with a. So it does look like we're actually going to get more gun characters too. I don't know who this guy is. Or I guess I don't know if it could be a girl or a boy. I don't really know. He got skipped. He did, apparently. Apparently. Maybe they're just showing the shot. I don't know. That's weird. That's kind of weird. They forgot on purpose. Maybe they're only showing one from each like silhouette. So I guess if that's true, then we're probably not going to get her. There are different factions though, so maybe it just makes more sense to show different, like one of each faction, but he's part of the faction that everybody's part of. But anyway, so we'll probably most likely have her playable. Shisha. Obviously we'll have Yang Yang. This is actually the character, this chick right here, I think is this chick. Up here. I think that's her. I think she's the red haired. How do you say her name? Is it Bai? Hold on. Is this chick? Okay, so do you say this as Bai? Or, well, I guess it's this one. Bai is Bai. Lian? What are the role of the player in this game? What do you mean by that? They're in the story and stuff, if that's what you mean. Pi? It isn't Pi, it's Bai. Isn't it? Wouldn't that be Bai? Lian? It's Pi? There's no shot that's Pi. How the hell would that be a P? Maybe I'm uncultured. I don't know. Wait, is it Pi? Pi? Up? What the hell? hell's the noise?
Bye.
Bye. I thought it was bye. You're lying to me. I feel like you're lying to me. This is definitely by Leanne. Or Leanne. Well, anyway, so she's gonna be in there, and then it's kind of weird that they don't show certain people. Because she's probably gonna be, she was in the technical test. I think she's like she almost seems more like a kind of like a caster almost. Let's see if I can't find I can't remember her name though. Might be able to find gameplay of her, but I'm pretty sure she's almost like a caster. Kind of weird. It's kind of weird that they haven't talked about it, because she has this pink lady, or this pink haired girl right here. She has dual or a great sword. She's been shown too. The rover has definitely been changed. There's two other characters in this art too. I just remembered this art came out during the technical test. There's still this guy. This guy definitely looks like Cam. And then there's this chick. Almost kind of leads me to believe that the male will also be canon because he's shown the most, but I guess I don't know. Looks unfinished. You can see his arm. Right, now that I realize it, kind of looks like his arm and his sword are like mended together. This definitely looks like Cam. Like, you guys have played PGR, right? Camu? Definitely just looks like our Lord and Savior. Watanabe? I don't know about that. It definitely looks like him though. Which, I swear they put, he's one of the most fun people to play. I'm telling you, dude, he's one of the most fun people to play. He is so much fun to play. Crazy outfits. Here, I'll show you some skins. There's some skins, Chad. Don't worry about that. PGR has skins. He is the most Ongo Bongo character, dude. He just hits. And he hits. This is what I need to see, though. Hey, give me a character that has like an archer, dude. The thing that's so cool is, since we know a lot about PGR, we know how many different types of like characters we can have. Scythe, sword. We can have archery or bow and arrow, great swords, whatever the hell Washi wears. Whatever the, oh, he has a sniper rifle, I just realized. Chainsaws. You know what I mean? We got some skins though, Chad. Don't worry about all that. We'll have skins on check. We'll have skins in the game for sure. But they're definitely way more weapons. Honestly, though, I could see them going down the route of having just... cat claws? Is this Luna? Oh, it is. Never seen that skin before. Wait, were you guys saying Lee Hyper what? Who the hell's this? Wait. Lee got another S class? When did I miss this? Wait, what? Did this just come out in CN? He's a big ass railgun? Only in CN? Oh, it's been out for a bit. Yeah, I don't keep too much up on CN, so. You're quite late. Well, I don't watch a lot of PGR stuff, TBH. I also don't watch who put all the leads together. And I also don't usually watch the CN stuff. This is my favorite Lee though. Yeah, I'm not worried about story and just drip and Wuthering Waves, man. You're talking about coming from a game where those two in combat, that's the three things that PGR had on lock. The drip, the story, and the combat / characters. Like, yeah, no, I'm not worried about all that. Look at these guys dripped out of their mind. But yeah, this guy definitely looks like he would well, he kind of, okay, so I don't know, it's hard to say because I don't even want to say anything about these two characters because they'll probably get redesigns. You can actually see in the art though that it looks like these two characters are kind of drawn in almost. Like, oh, Saber, yeah, I've saw her. I've seen her. She was I think maybe the last character I saw. All these damn tabs open, chat. Yeah, these two characters kind of don't look like they're done. This is a cool concept. I really like this idea. I kind of that looks like he's using a stick. Yeah, because you can definitely tell that some of these hands are just like inside the swords. So I kind of want like to avoid this thing where everybody just has like really short blades. So we have like two blade characters already. I want her to be something different. She actually would be kind of cool. She had a cannon. Like Karen, she could be like the Karen of Wuthering Waves. I think she'd be cool as hell with a cannon. Look at their feet as well. Oh yeah, you can definitely see that they're not rendered, like they're not blended in, right? She'd look pretty cool with like a cannon or something. I like her design though. I think that you should keep this design. I like kind of the flowy outfit. I actually kind of like his design too. Done on WW. Imagine the stun. We were watching this one character that had kind of a stun. It kind of looked like it had a root mechanic to it. Give him a hammer or something. That guy. I don't know. I'm kind of biased on him having a great sword just because of Cam, but it's all right. I mean, she already has a great sword, so I guess I probably wouldn't go down that route. Yeah, that's where like these are already really good. Like I already really like I'm already really liking the art that they're doing, like the promotional art. Redesign, yeah. So they're definitely gonna go down the route of redesigning some of the characters just because we can kind of see that with Chi Xiao. I really like that though. Does thumbnail look like a mature beagle? What, this guy? What are you talking about? My thumbnail? You pet the dog. I don't know. I haven't seen any. Like, this would be kind of cool though. Imagine having like an event like this. That'd be kind of cool. She got nerfed in the art. Yeah, maybe. Hey, the game isn't out yet. Maybe put that in the feedback if you get in closed beta. Yeah, we were already seeing like in the IGN test that whenever they'd swap out, they had English for the most part. I don't know if I don't think it's fully done. I wonder though, they'll probably have game audio, right? Like VAs for the story, because the technical test had CN, if I'm not mistaken. Wuthering Waves. The technical test had CN voice acting on, that was very early too. I imagine English. Damn, dude, I don't gotta read chat. No parkour. Yeah, it also looked automatic too. Well, okay, so we don't necessarily know how long it's been in development. We just got the technical test. I don't know if they've ever said exactly how they've probably been working on it for a minute, but I don't know. I could see the game coming out like late this year. If we'll, I think the closed beta, what we're seeing in the closed beta is pretty fleshed out, honestly. I don't know if this will be like final product, but this probably looks about 80%, I would say. 70 to 80% done. 2021, yeah, see that makes more sense. 2023 late release into 2024 maybe. Has to be like 70 to 80 because you can already see the revamp, and they've already see the thing about the technical test is you could tell that a lot of this stuff and a lot of the assets weren't like shaded and set. You know what I mean? So like you can tell in this one that they've went into the models and started to really push in some of the shaders and stuff and really set some of these designs. So that's why I feel like it's like 70, 80. Because you can start to see that they've started to set things as if like you're not going to put that much time into it if you're like 50% done, at least not setting all the different shadows and stuff like that. I would say we probably get 3 beta tests. First beta test next month. Second beta test maybe end of summer. And then last beta test late fall until winter, and then maybe early spring 2023 release or 2024 release. Q1 of 2024. If everything goes well, is what I would say. Obviously that's all speculation, but I feel like the gameplay for the closed beta is pretty close. It looks very polished though. I feel like they're gonna mostly probably tweak a lot of the performance stuff, because the big thing is they're not gonna want to release a game like this in like kind of a bad state. Yeah, it looks very polished. You think you guys have an idea when ZZZ would be releasing? See, that's hard because like the way that it seems like the way that Hoyoverse does stuff like that is like they push a lot of betas really quickly if it's gonna be released. Because like I think we got Star Rail closed beta and Star Rail closed beta 1 and 2 and 3 pretty close to each other, and then release. So I feel like it's like, okay, so we've had the first one. When did we even have the August of 2022 is when I played the beta, streamed it. So it's been a minute. It's been a bit. But I don't know, honestly. I don't think they're gonna try to take away the hype from Star Rail though, so maybe they're gonna hold off till midsummer for another beta. I would say probably midsummer, another beta. Yeah, Zenless Zone 0 is what they're talking about. 2 betas then release. I think I had 3 betas, didn't it? I think that last beta we were just on was the 3rd beta. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was the 2nd one. But we already had a beta in August, so they probably polished it up since August. Been a couple months, so I'd probably say midsummer, another beta into release, late summer, early fall. Maybe even August. Maybe August release date. The year after their first closed beta. You mean for Wuthering Waves? Well, it already kind of looks like they have that. Actually coming up here in a minute. So kind of looks like they have a system where you have to give up stamina for rewards based on the enemies you killed. I mean, if they were really smart, I think they would push this game midsummer into early fall, but I don't want them to push it unless they're done. Like, I just want it to be done. I don't want it to be like shady. But the thing is, and this might be more confirmed on the beta, it looks good, man. Like, it looks like the FPS is running really well, and it looks like things are rendering very well. Like in the technical test, when I was talking about some of the renderings, you could tell people were like parts of the world were not rendering. So like, if I'm using this as an example, like if you go all the way out here, it looked like that wasn't being rendered in the technical test, or at least like stuff that was there. Like obviously the background was, but like if a person was there or an object was there, it wasn't being rendered, at least not efficiently. But in here you can kind of tell there's no people, so it's kind of hard to tell, but you can tell that everything's kind of rendered up till that point and it's running very smooth. Yeah, so once the beta comes out, I'll probably be able to tell a little bit better where I think they're at, but they might even decide that the beta is good enough but still want to keep going to like polish it and stuff like that. I feel like the biggest thing before shiny echoes for better stats, imagine that's shiny. So combat wouldn't seem too tedious. Well, I'm not really sure how the monster stuff works because there's multiple versions of it and they're all level 1. I don't know if you have to like eventually merge them to make them higher tier or higher rarity. We haven't even seen anything. They all look green. I imagine that's a rarity, but I'm not 100% sure. This game will most likely have a gotcha system for weapons. Like, I don't want to say 100%, but probably 70-80% most likely, just because PGR already does. But the biggest thing that we were kind of hoping for on the fact of if it does have that they keep PGR pity. That I understand, like the weapon stuff sucks, but if you have like a 30 pity with a 100% guarantee rate to get a weapon, it hurts a little less. Be honest about that. If the character gotcha is like a 60 pity with 100% guarantee to get the character, even having that last part of the 100% guarantee to get a character, it hurts a little less. I'm gonna play Wuthering Waves first. Infield, I think what did we get information on that? Like last February? I don't think Infield is anywhere close to being in a spot. To be my 100% my opinion. They showed us a snippet of them running in kind of like a semi-open world area, and that was it. It didn't look like there was any shadows or anything, and it definitely didn't look like there was much going on. I'm not saying that the game is going to be bad, but they definitely was a very bare bones, like here's kind of the idea of the game. They just kind of wanted to give you an idea that it's going to be different than the tower defense that you're used to. I'm imagining. Or the devs are still cooking for Enfield? Yeah, most likely. Do you think echoes of bosses or every echo will be rare drops? It looks like you can get echoes from bosses just because of tutorial. Well, I assume it's a tutorial boss. You can drop. That's an echo boss. But I'm not 100% sure if maybe it has a drop % chance or something like that. And maybe the fact that it's a tutorial boss, it was guaranteed dropped. And that would be considered like one of the higher rarity drops for echoes. You kind of get it for free, basically, so you can get a taste of what it looks like to have a higher rarity drop. I'm not 100% sure because you can see some mobs, but see this I just stuttered like 5 times. Anyway, this mob that they just turn into is also a boss. So this is the second boss we got to see in the preview. This one right here, this is a boss. So I don't know if it's a drop rate, but that would kind of confirm that at least 2 bosses that we've seen in gameplay have turned into mobs that we can use. Because we know the tutorial boss, the white and red guy, he's usable, and then this is a boss too. This is the second boss we got to see in the gameplay. And then he was obviously usable. Now I don't know what the rarities are because unfortunately they don't show switching off on those ones. The only ones I've been able to see are green. So far this 11 minutes doesn't have a boss. Yeah, I don't think it, well, kind of does. Mini boss. I don't know if you want to call it that. I mean, I'll pull up like the other stuff just so I can have something else playing besides just this. Where is the watch this one? Want to see the big one? So this is the fight that I'm excited for. This is exactly what I saw. Like when I saw this, this is how I knew that this game was going to be pumped. Like, look at the freaking, like, there's no reason to be so finessed on this like this. Watch this guy. He just like slowly shoots it. Does a perfect dodge into an attack. Yeah, so I think this is a tutorial boss. This is probably just a, like, but look how well thought out the tutorial boss is. Watch how he fights. Like, just for a second, stop watching the rover and watch how the boss fights. There's so many cool things, so many little nuances that the boss does. That's so cool. Like this, I really hope that they keep this as well. This is such a cool little thing, like a CG into a fight. This is such a cool transition. Plus, these guys remind me of Hollows from Bleach. That guy does anyway. I think these are such cool transitions. Like right, oh, it's like a 1-inch punch. Now this is my favorite part. This is the moment that got me super stoked. Watch how this boss is just turns into this like nice little boxer, bro. Look at him. The boxing style, bro. Tell me that ain't cool. Like it's just such a small thing. Like it's such a cool thing to give a boss this kind of like, all right, like, you know what I mean? It gives the boss so much personality. Look at that freaking falcon uppercut, bro. It's kind of cool that you can juggle the boss though. Look at him like do the 2-step back. It's like, it's so cool. Yeah, you could definitely tell he has some sort of like, cause he did a 1-inch punch into the boxing style. And then he has like all these different like boxing modes. It's such a cool transition, especially when he goes phase 2 and he just gets rid of that. If phase 2 is pretty much just like, all right, you want to fight then? And then he just goes all berserk. What? Why? E. Yeah. Okay. See, I like these sequences though. They're pretty cool. And I just like, I don't know. I like the flow of the boss. Like it's so cool to give him like this kind of like, yeah. And then he kind of like almost loses it though. Like it almost like loses his mind and then he turns into a completely different fighting style. That's what I like. And then the transitions are also just badass. So now it's like a completely different like fighting style that this guy has. Now he has a weapon. And he actually has super armor too. Can't juggle him right now. A huge AoE. I mean, whoever is playing the game right now is really good. It's probably Rexcellent, to be honest. But yeah, that was a parry miss. Like that parry is so cool. And it's obviously so rewarding because then you can get him down like that. Yeah, it's definitely Rexcellent. But hey, that's the perfect person to do stuff like this. But yeah, it's so cool that you can do that. But also keep in mind that this boss is probably going to be a little easier just because it is a tutorial boss, most likely. This definitely looks like the first boss you fight. But see, then you even go into like these different moves, bro. Like you have to think like now it's like, okay, now it's a different type of fight. At least for those first couple of seconds. So it's like if we get bosses that kind of like gradually change and have second phases and stuff, it'd be cool. Yeah, I think the one thing that PGR does really well too is boss fights. So it's really like a cool thing to see. I'll definitely get clapped, but that's cool though, because it's like then you can kind of like you'd feel like way cooler like once you get to a point where you're feeling really good at the game. It's like really all it is time, right? So this is what I was talking about. This is the second boss, and he was seen in the IGN video as being usable. So this is the second boss. So it gives me the idea that the tutorial boss and him are both like, I guess, capturable. I don't know. You can capture them. I think they both, I think they do have second phases, because this guy will go into a second phase too. So here, oh, here also is another character we haven't been able to see much of. She's the one that seems like she has an elemental to her, and she's pretty cool. But yeah, I think they both do have, like, this is so cool to have like these little CG moments in the fight. I think they're just kind of a nice touch. For the red boss, they might. I mean, it might just be a tutorial before you even get anybody. You know, I don't know how it's gonna work. Maybe you get Yang Yang after that. Like, you don't meet her until after that. It definitely looks like it's a tutorial. Like, maybe that's like, I don't know, you get awoken or something, and that's the first fight you have to go into. You just go like, okay, well, here's a boss. Time to learn the mechanics. It definitely looked like it was just like one of those fights that are just immediately, because like the thing is, he never swapped off onto anybody, and here you can see him swapping off. Albeit like kind of gradually, but he's swapping between characters here, so you didn't really see that during the first one. So maybe it isn't like a 1v1. But like, look at these different like effects and stuff like that. I think this is a second phase. I think when it goes to CG, that's when you're going to the different phase though. I'm pretty sure there's probably some sort of health indicator that gets you to the next phase. Doesn't need skills to play it. Games like this where everything's really fast paced, I would say it needs a lot of skill. I mean, I think turn-based has their own, like I was saying earlier, I think turn-based and like Arknights and stuff like that is more of a chess game. You know, so obviously it's going to be more inherently like strategical, I guess, in some sense, but games like this, you definitely are going to just be able to mash and win. You know, Sekiro and stuff like that, it's its own kind of chess match. You have to think about the different counters and what you're going to do to an enemy. Like, you don't just get to go in there and, for the most part, smash away. You get punished for stuff like that. This definitely looks kind of like a world boss, though. It kind of looks like a boss that would spawn, you just go in and grab. The thing that I see about this boss, it is a little bit less like, honestly, it's less impressive, this boss. So this might be a world boss just because it's like, you know, they're not going to try to wow you with the world boss, so you're going to fight a million times. They're just going to give you something kind of more subtle. Move can't be parried. Yeah, there might be those little hints that let you know that you can't parry certain things, so you don't try, but she just parried that. So I don't know. Needs to get a hint at what the MC's rules and motivation. That'd be cool, though. I really hope they're not just a stand-in. No offense to Genshin. I've only played so much. I've only played the first act, I think, the prologue. But it really, oh yeah, this is also where they show the greatsword lady. But I feel like Aether, or I guess whoever MC you pick, and Genshin is just there. He just stands there. He's just part of it. I don't know. So I hope we're more involved. Yeah, this is the chick I was talking about. Look at that. What was that? Does she have a counter mechanic to her? She just did a slash and knocked it back. I wonder if that's just like a thing you get to do against this boss. You just do is it a parry? Because it looks like she just attacks and it goes back. It's a parry mechanic? Okay. It's cool though. Like, I mean, that means anybody can do it, but it's still cool though. Oh, even her ults changed. I just realized Yang's ults changed too. Same with PGR. Okay. I don't know. Maybe the male rover didn't really get changed much. I know the female rover looked like she got a little bit of a rework. Her head isn't as big. Yeah, this definitely looks more like it would be like a world boss. Like somebody you just fight a couple of times. That's why it's not as like insane. And this is where we got a glimpse of him. GN. I remember seeing him somewhere. Yeah, this is where he was. We didn't know if he was going to be playable or if he looked like he was going to be a villain. He actually got a change too. Or maybe it's the lighting. Because his hair looks a lot darker here. They decided to go with a green. But maybe it's just the lighting. The narwhal, dude. Is he? It's the same narwhal from PGR, you think? Does his outfits change? I'll see. Definitely has a more bluish tint to him. Here's what he looks like. Damn, that thing keeps popping up, and I just realized. I can't believe I didn't see that before. I don't know. I can't really get a. I was gonna say I can't really get a frontal of him, but where the hell did it go? I think it was kind of the same. I think it's the same. Definitely looks like it's more vibrant though. But again, I think that's just the lighting. I think he's relatively the same. Actually, now that I think about it, I think he's just more vibrant. I also think it's just the coloring. The Seaborns. Yeah, I think it's just the world, because like obviously it's overcasted and stuff, and he doesn't have any real like outlines and stuff. He obviously probably just got like an update as well as far as like HD assets. Arc Knight's collab, yeah, tell him. I think his outfit's the same though. If anything, it's a little more like a, I don't know what you call this, like a blue green. And this one looks more just straight green. Like this looks more like a sage green, and this one looks more like a, is it cyan? Cyan maybe? Cyan the color I'm thinking of? Cyan might be too, kinda. A little darker than that. Got the color wheel out here. Well, cyan, I guess. Dark cyan, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, I would say it's just probably the actual lighting. Wait, do they actually go into depth about the different stuff in here? Well, they have like one for the ecosystem. Whoa, wait, hold on. That's like a different version of the tutorial boss? Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Ever like cyan color character. The Xiao. I'm a farmer. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you haven't smacked the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps out, especially on these streams where they're just kind of discussions. It's kind of a new format. So if you are enjoying the content, consider giving it a smack of the likey and subbing to the channel as well. Oh, that guy.
一方面能够和强有力的怪物进行爽快的战斗，一方面当你完成挑战后，将有概率收服。
Wonder how much this goes in. The thing that I was wondering is at the beginning it looked like that boss was the same as the tutorial boss.
是我们明朝世界内怪物体系的一个
a different color. Does the colors mean anything? Yo, this is cool. Oh, have we seen that mod? Oh yeah, we have. Damn.
会主动寻找人类或共鸣者 发起攻击，因此，在野外长时间战斗或使用共鸣力都有可能招来怪物的袭击。玩家
See, this is what makes me already kind of think that they're going to do a better job at marketing on this side, because honestly, this production on the stage right here is very high. I think that this is a very good way to present the information of like, here's what we're doing, here's some of the dev stuff. I like that they're doing behind the scenes, because I think this generates hype to actually see like, look at these boards for these characters, bro. Like this is cool to see, like the sketches and how they kind of came to be. This is exactly what I wanted to see, and I hope they continue to do this stuff. This is so cool to have these dev talks of like, here's the systems, here's how we do it, here's how we go, how to catch them all. Yeah, this is really cool. To make monsters an actual threat instead of meat sponges like the Souls games. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with like the actual thing. It looks like you can just move their moves. Yeah, it does look like they've done a lot in 8 months, so. But if they continue this level of like getting in behind the scenes and marketing, I think the game will do very well. That's one of the biggest things that I feel like the game may struggle with if Kiro doesn't do it correctly. There's a parry mechanic with the monster. Oh, so you can actually even have ones that aren't just direct attacks. You can have ones that are buff, I assume, and maybe even debuff enemies.
位移等等。
So they actually have different. Yeah, and this one's a movement one.
我们也期
And
望
he can actually
将这个
smash
深
through
海
certain
技能
boulders
打
too.
造成为我们最为核心的体验之一。那么以上就是对深海系统的设计理念，大家可以期待一下。
Yo, thanks for hanging out.
惊喜
Yes, even that's like a minute long. That's still cool. Like it's still cool to kind of see that they went over it. Collecting monsters after just defeating them. I don't know. Like maybe that's like the Pidgeots, you know, Pidgeotos. Maybe that's like the Rattatas from, you know, just like the standard stuff. Like maybe those are just the low level mobs. So like obviously you're just gonna get a ton of them, but there's like chances of like fighting bosses and getting like drops and stuff. I don't know, you know. And maybe they have stats because we haven't seen two of the same ones. So maybe they have different stats. So maybe it's like kind of it makes sense to catch one a couple of times just because you might get a different stat or maybe a different like thing to it, I guess. It's doing more damage than the character. Yeah, maybe we'll have to kind of go in there and do it. I mean, again, from the technical test standpoint, though, there's probably a lot of stuff that's unbalanced. So, also really like the way they did this. This video kind of reminds me of the way Arknights does their stuff. How am I getting a Spanish dental commercial, dude? I don't speak Spanish. Like, I like the way that they did this, though. My favorite thing about this is they don't show a single character. To me, that's cool. Like, I kind of like that they're doing, like, the world building stuff, because it's like, damn, how did the world get destroyed there? This kind of reminds me of the way Arknights does their world building, which is phenomenal, by the way. Like, here's some mobs. And you're just like, what the hell? What the hell is this? What the hell is that? How are these coordinated? Plus, the music's good. Like, the background music. Particularly this part reminds me of Arknights because they always use like the yellow, the gray and black kind of thing. But like the different factions. And just kind of going over the different parts of the world like that. It's covered in smoke. Why? Like it's such a new, like it's such a small thing, but it's like, why is it covered in smoke? Also, I kind of wonder though, why this guy is like the main boss. Like he's always portrayed as like the big boy, but it's like he's just, like he seemingly was a tutorial boss. I also like the way that they're doing the text logo. What the hell is that? Oh wait. Okay, I can almost bet that this is where the rover is. I can almost guarantee that's what this is. I bet that's the rover getting out. That has to be what that is. It's like the size of that. Centuries or millennia after PGR, the city was destroyed beforehand, it seems. Yeah, maybe, but like the PGR thing is kind of weird because they don't like technically like they can't live on Earth. But I bet this is where the rover comes out. It definitely looks like it's gonna open. I bet we're in there. Damn, I already figured out the game. PGRC, and I think the story now is going for Earth. Reclaim it. That can make sense. I mean, I could definitely see it. I think that we're hinting towards that even now in global. So it's definitely something that they were going to go through and do eventually. But maybe, I mean, maybe this game's after that and it's set in the same universe. Shit, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. We got bamboo namies. Bamboo Nimis. Kind of cool. Like imagine you just like see like Lee or somebody. Well, I guess I don't know, man. The thing about it is, so what are the lifespans on some of the characters in PGR though? Like I understand like the mind thing and they can like do their consciousness, but does it like mean technically they can live forever and they just keep going from shit, I don't even remember the name of the damn thing. What the hell are their bodies called? I can't remember. Constructs. There we go. Shit. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Did they just go from construct to construct? Like they can live forever? I guess I can't remember if they ever really talked about like what the lifespan of that was. Since technically they can go, like imagine though, like you go into Wuthering Waves. But the thing about that is though, the thing that like I keep seeing connections of the biggest connection that I keep seeing or like something that's a telltale is this little like almost scar area for these characters. What do you mean good night? Where are you going? Not back to sleep. It's not even late, Dungy. This is the biggest thing that I see between the different characters is this little scar thing. And I think that's where the monsters come out. Me, probably. Can't really see it in that. You see, oh, you see hers is on her forehead. Right? So hers is on her forehead. Hers are on her back. See, that's the thing. Like, they're already doing like lore building by showing that. Like, I feel like they're deliberately putting a character in a way that it can show it. Like, here is hers. Hers buys. Hers is on her stomach. But see, I think they glow whenever, because there's a part here that it shows on Chi. Those monsters, is that what it is? Right? To summon the monsters, right? I think it shows it up close. Yeah, see, it just closed. So like whenever she like goes from the bird into the ult, it almost closes from there. So that's super interesting though, because it's like, okay. If we saw Babel and WW, it would mean that it's connected. It's hard to say though. Yeah, it's probably part of the powers though. It's just cool that they've been marketing it in a way where it's just like it always shows. Oh wait, I just realized. Wait, why did it turn? Why is it black now on her? Is that like the way it's set? Oh wait. Damn, they're really out here just putting the rovers in the freaking waves, bro. Wait, I didn't even see this. It's always been black. Well, the thing that I don't understand is so like it's like it turns into the scar. So maybe it only glows when it opens. Anyway, yeah, the Rover Christmas. This is really cool. See, the fact that they're already doing stuff like this makes me super excited for events. Like I imagine that they're going to be able to do like really good events. I hope they do like live streams and stuff. Like this is so cool. Like I'm already liking the, like, what if we could get like costumes like this and stuff? Just using the summoning powers. Okay. They're always colored. Well, normally they're white, or at least in these pictures. I don't even know where hers is. So like in this scenario, the scar on her head's white, but in this picture it's black. Is it because it's closed and not active? Is it only active in like combat or like when she's using it? Because it's like glowing on this even after she's used it. Huh. That's why I was confused, because like it's black here, but it's like this dude. Also, I wonder what that means by the different colors. She does kind of look like Luma. Actually, thinking about it, it's kind of who she reminds me of design-wise. I also wonder why this guy's a different color. Because like the other one's red, where this person or this one's like has blue, like even the eyes. So I wonder if this one's a higher rarity, or maybe a different version of it. Probably the elements, maybe. Yeah, damn, dude, they're already doing really good designs. Oh, hold on. Who the hell's this dude? And why does he have a saw? What is that? Is that a gun or a saw? Hold on. Who's this guy? God, I'm too zoomed in now. I can't see shit. What's a gun? It's 100% a gun. This design's really cool though. NPC? Yeah, maybe. This looks cool. I thought it was a saw for a minute. I thought it was a little saw. Yeah, maybe that's an NPC. It's a pretty cool design for an NPC though. Really good art too. So this is what I like, that they're already doing like this world building stuff. Like who knows what the hell this is? You're about to get clapped. Well, he's not going to be in a very good spot. I was hoping I'd see some more. This is definitely the Rovers. Yo, look at this one. They also did one for Halloween. That's cool too. When the characters activate their ults, it's more noticeable. What's up, Soga? Huh, I wonder why they turn black then. Maybe that's just like if they're totally out of combat completely. It's like, yeah, some of these pictures it's just black. Yo, tell me that these designs aren't cool though. Like, who are you gonna pick? I think her head's smaller now though. Like, look at the getup, dude. Isn't this part of his hair? Yeah, she's 100% changed from this though. Her head isn't that big. God, yellow and black is such a cool aesthetic. Yellow and black is just so cool. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, is the scars. I wasn't able to see it, but I don't know. It could be anywhere. I guess it'd be more likely to be able to see it on her, but I don't see it. But maybe we have, like, we have a more natural akin to the energy or something, so we don't have to have it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm telling you, I think we come out of that freaking thing at the end of that video. Whatever that damn egg looking thing is, I'm pretty sure that's what we come out of, and we probably have some sort of akin to like the energy to use it, so we don't have to have the scar or whatever. I mean, I imagine that's probably some sort of background. I don't think you can go wrong either way. This female though, I think she's I want to say she's redesigned. I think it's just her head. Actually, I think it might be right here. Her head definitely seems a lot smaller now. I think she looks better now. Oh, you can't even see her at all. Damn, she's not in any of the marketing shit. Yeah, especially if they have Ian voices, it'd be kind of cool to see. And like the fact is, we still have cool ass like people that we get to see too. Yeah, I think it's only in the gameplay. A big ass head. Her head definitely looks a lot better. I guess so. She didn't really get a redesign. I think her head just got smaller. She has less floof. Yeah, that's what it is. She basically just doesn't have as much floof. It's like in here, it definitely looks like, yeah, she has way too much going on. This is just more subtle. I just cut part of it off. She just got, she got a haircut, basically. Yeah, I like the hair redesign. That's better. Oh, she got nerfed. Got nerfed. Oh. Looks goofy. This is kind of goofy, the hair, yeah. For sure, yeah. She got nerfed, though. So did she. Damn it, she got nerfed, too. Rip chat. Kid only game. They already have really cool cosplay as well. Really cool. Face structure as well. Is there much of a difference in face structure? Oh yeah, it's definitely sharper. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better. I think they're doing the right thing by redesigning some of the characters, even if they're like subtle. This is so cool that they do this. Damn it, man. I'm so hyped. I don't want to wait till 2024, chat. This just sucks. I want to play. Well, I guess we'll get to play next month, hopefully. I already think they're doing a better job at like the designs for the marketing. Like, this is really cool. This is really good. I like the font, and I like everything they used here. Looks very good. Just realized this is a boss back here. Blowing ass high. Right. But I know this is a little different than what we normally do, but I just kind of want to chit chat and sit here and talk about a game. Like in the other one. Oh, you mean like if you pick one and not the other one's just not part of the story? More or less. I kind of wish that too, though. Like, I don't know. The dynamic's kind of cool, but I just rather have my character as the main character, and then the other one just doesn't exist. If that's what you meant, because that's what I mean. God dang it. I just get so mad. Is this another gacha game? Looks like so much like Genshin Impact. I'm sick of Genshin. I don't want to play another gacha clone. We've already sold that ship, chat, but shit, man, it's just so annoying. Look, we're gonna enjoy the hell out of it. I don't know what I gotta do to get Kuro. Like, I've worked with Kuro games with PGR and shit. I hope to get a CBT. I'd love to show you guys. I'd love to show you guys this game. I'd like to go through and experience it with y'all. I hope that they picked me as their president. No, I'm just kidding. But hopefully I'm able to get in there. I am technically a Wuthering Waves content creator, though. On their Discord. Don't know if that means anything. But I hope so. Gonna play for the Pokemon concept and vibe in the dark world. I mean, I play for the mobility. The combat looks pretty cool. I like the Pokemon thing. It's pretty cool. And honestly, the color palette's better on my eyes. The biggest thing that I hope for the game, though, is I hope that they market the hell out of the game. Seemingly, they've been doing a really good job at that. Second off, they do good. I don't know. I have a lot of faith in the fact that they're going to make really interesting stories and really interesting characters. I think they've learned a lot from PGR. And I have faith that they're going to continue that. The biggest things that I could see as Kuro as a company is marketing and valuing content creators a little bit more. As a person who is a content creator, that was something with PGR that was hard to deal with Kuro. That's more of a personal one, but I think that if they value the community building aspect, I think they can get a long way with creators. I personally think like games build communities, but content creators also can build pretty strong communities around games. So I really hope that they decide to value it a little bit more, but that's more of a personal one. Well, yeah, they did have a collab. And PGR has also said, well, Kiro Games has also said that that was part of their inspiration. So, Pat, dig the new background though, real quick. It's my wallpaper. Okay, I've seen this before, and it's only because it makes sense to me that Lucia kind of looks like the main character. Not like looks like, but I can definitely see. Look, yeah, I'll show you something real quick though. Yo, peep this, chat. I got this from winning a contest. I'm not gonna unbox it. You gotta keep it like this. You got this after a year after you won the contest. Yeah, it was literally the first contest that PGR did for global. I ended up winning it, and it was a popularity vote basically for content creators. And I didn't even submit my video. Somebody submitted it for me, and it ended up winning. And then I got the figure, but it took a year to get here. So there's that. But I got it now, so you know we're cool. But I've worked with Kiro. I've even been sponsored to play PGR. So, you know, I'd definitely love to show the interest in the game for Wuthering Waves. If you're watching Kiro games. No, I'm just kidding. All right, chat. I think I'm going to hop off, though. Yeah, the biggest thing is just marketing, I feel like. But I think they're doing a pretty good job. Marketing seems to be really good. They're also doing a good amount of world building. And so far, I think that the dev, like the stuff they're doing for the dev kits and dev breakdowns and stuff like that, as well as featuring the reworks on characters, they're obviously waiting, like they're obviously listening to feedback from these tests. So that would be my biggest thing. If you do get into CPT, mark all the stuff that you, even if it's just stuff that you see as like small things. I would just mark it, whatever it is, something maybe you just didn't like the vibe of something. I would just say it. Let them know, because apparently they're listening. The technical test is a huge turnaround in my opinion. Anyway, or from the technical test, it's a huge turnaround. Peace out, guys. I'm gonna hop off. Honestly, thanks for hanging out. I didn't think that this was gonna turn out to be such a good stream as discussion wise, because we weren't really playing anything. I kind of like to do this stuff, so I appreciate you guys hanging out and smacking the like button and subbing and stuff, guys. It's gives me a good boost. How do I want to say it? Like a good boost that these kind of things are fun to do and that the community likes it, so I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off. Love you guys. Peace out. Listen to some music. And yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow. I don't know if I'll play whatever, and then Friday we'll definitely be doing some polls on the Volnir stuff if you're into Arc Knights. Friday night. Tomorrow we'll be doing something, I don't know, Genshin, or maybe I'll hop on some Blue Archive or Olympus Company for some story. Peace out, guys. Thank you again for the 9 months, brother.